On the 18th of February, President's Day, there was a book burning event here at CCC which represents the limiting of our freedom of speech. This event was meant to remind us of how lucky we are as a nation to have the rights that we do, and to encourage people to exercise their freedom to read all sorts of books.
The idea that people should be reading more books and literature and all sorts of different things. So a while back, the local arts group here selected the book Fahrenheit 451 as the book that would be the one that we read locally for the big read. Let me ask how many have read the book? Good.
And
Good.
that's great. And I always tell I don't change the world, and I mean it. And so what I want to say is today is let everybody know that the most practical thing we can do as a democracy is to encourage the dreamers, the believers, the thinkers, because all it would do is save us trillions of dollars, rebuild our world, bring us peace, have a college open so there are more opportunities in arts and sciences, and enrich our personal lives. I can't think of anything more practical than that.
You may have noticed the artwork that has been on display in front of Niemeyer Center. The week before President's Day, the piece of art was covered in canvas with the names of many books that had been banned in the past written on it.
I'm Rick True, chair of the art department, and when the idea of the big book came about because of several people working on it, people from the Arts Action Alliance, and Bill Breer, Dean of our Humanities, and Chris Whitten. We got together and talked about the idea of that book and how we would do it, if we could burn it, and how we could burn it, and what we could get away with in burning it. And we talked about building like a 12-foot book, but I kind of pushed the idea down a little bit because, you know, we talked about maybe putting plywood on the book, what we wanted inside the book, what we could get away with, how the thing would look like after it was done. And so Chris and I went out and did some experimental burns. We tried plywood, and tried canvas, and canvas seemed to be the best bet. So then Chris built the frame for that book, and then I did the plasma cut pieces and cut the letters out of the inside part, and we put that together, and then we got a big canvas, and Kelly White, our art department secretary, did all the lettering on there, the 49 banned books that were listed on there. And we weren't quite sure how it was going to turn out. I've never burnt anything that big. I've burnt some beaver dams and stuff before, but nothing with that much canvas on it. And so it was actually quite surprising what happened, because when we got it started, I wasn't even quite sure it was going to get started the way I'd planned, and for a while it didn't seem like it was going to catch. And then when I got to the middle of the canvas, it finally got going. But the really great thing about it was the surprise that was inside there when the thing went up into flames, and then this canvas that covered the lettering on the inside fell away, then it was backlit by the fire, and it was pretty dramatic. And so it was kind of like the culminating event of all the stuff that a lot of people put together, Dean Darris and all the students that during a day of discussion about the idea of censorship and reading and what that's all about.